Showcase your skills for Americans who maybe don't follow boxing as fervently as your fans do?
You know, it's just a dream come true, you know, being a world-class fighter, fighting in the amateur ranks, looking forward to being pro. At the end of the day, man, you want people to know you. You want people to enjoy watching you fight, enjoy watching you compete, and enjoy the craftsman that you are as a world-class fighter.
Robert's life story, everyone knows about in boxing. Americans going to get to know about his wife and her battle with leukemia and him taking time off to be with her at her side. What's important for Americans to know about Keith Thurman's life and his upbringing and everything that'll make people say, I want to be Keith Thurman's fan?
You know, at the end of the day, I'm just living the American dream. I've been boxing since I was 7 years old. My original trainer, Ben Getty, taught me everything that I know from the amateur ranks up into the pros, and then when he passed away when I was 20 years old. We had 100 fights in the amateurs, 7 national titles, and though he was always my coach because I knew my father, but he was a mentor. He's the reason why I am where I am today. I constantly, in remembrance of him, wear his name on my trunks. He was a Vietnam veteran. He was a very stern and strict man with his 25 years of military service. And you know, outside of that, Ben brought me into St. Pete Boxing when I was 14 years old, which is the home of Winky Wright and Jeff Left Hook Lacey. Trainer Dan Birmingham, who is still my trainer today. We have a great team. We have a great facility. I'm a hometown boy, Florida. I've never left Florida. I don't plan on leaving Florida. And I'm just excited to be an American world champion, represent red, white, and blue. And I wear red, white, and blue every time I fight.
I think people are going to be very surprised when they see how articulate and smart you are. You know, we know because we've talked to you for years. But how cool is that for you to let people who've never seen you fight say, man, I thought this guy was just another dumb guy who hit people. You're a very bright, intelligent young man.
You know, we definitely hit people, and we want to hit people, but there's a science behind hitting people. And you know, just like in any sport, you don't know. You know, you don't know the man behind outside of the ring. You don't know the man off the field or the man off the court. But I'm just like anybody else. I'm an individual. I'm a person, and I have a unique personality and a unique style.
So we were talking to Guerrero, and they said they expect you to run, and they're looking to bring a more full fight. What do you make of that? What do you think you're going to bring into the ring on Saturday against Guerrero?
You know, it's interesting because I might run. I might run right through him. So, you know, at the end of the day, they can call it running all they want. It's the art of boxing, okay? Go watch Muhammad Ali, go watch Sugar Ray Leonard, you know, go watch some of the best fighters of all times. Boxing, actual boxing, true boxing, in the art of boxing is done in a circular motion within a square ring.
Right.
So that's why we have a simple routine, a simple exercise called around the ring. It's when you're technically doing laps around the circles and in both directions. You know, a fighter can move straight forward, and he'll trap you if you move straight backwards. But if he's moving straight forward and you're moving laterally, then he has to make an adjustment, and he will always have to make that adjustment.
Right.
So someone who is looking forward to coming straight at you, you know, you have to make a choice. You're either going to be there for him to hit, you're going to go toe to toe, or you're going to work your way around him and score your points, move, readjust, score your points, move, and readjust. You know, I'm most likely going to box because it's in my nature, because it's a part of my fight style. But I do look forward to having moments where we are trading, where we are sitting down, because the more often we trade, You know, I'm the bigger, stronger puncher. You know, it's going to be in my favor to sit down on my punches and connect, and we look forward to connecting. Like I said, you know, we're going to run, but we might run right through them.
The funny thing about them mentioning that, I thought, was they were mentioning that they want to box more. So they sound like they want to do some movement. From what you've seen of Guerrero, what are you expecting from him on the ring this Saturday?
I'm expecting a lot of punches. I'm expecting a man that comes in shape, prepared, someone who's looking forward to creating an upset, getting his career back on the right track by taking out a young up-and-comer who some still believe has yet to truly be tested. So, you know, I expect him to bring 120% of his heart, his chin. You know, he has a lot of confidence in his chin, and we'll see how it holds up Saturday night.
Speaking of that, what do you make of it that you're the young guy, he's, you know, older than you, been in a few more bigger fights, fought Mayweather, and I think you're a 6 or 7 to 1 favorite going into this fight. You know, the odds makers make those lines for a reason. When you heard that, what did you think?
Well, I know a little bit about how the sport works when it comes to the betting. At least I feel like I do. And from what I know is they know my amateur background. They know that I was a 7-time national champion. I've been boxing since I was 7 years old. I've knocked out 21 out of 24 opponents. Anybody that's gone the distance with me, I don't know if there was a recorded round on the judges' scorecards that was given to anybody. So even if I go the distance, I pitch shutouts. You know, it's like a no-hitter. So at the end of the day, I'm smarter than most people think. I'm crafty. I'm hard to deal with if I'm standing there going toe-to-toe, or if I'm running circles around you.
That's a lot of respect they're giving to a guy, you know what I mean, yourself, against a guy who has his stature. So I was just thinking that was kind of interesting, your reaction to that.
I'm also a natural welterweight where Robert Guerrero is moving up. So I'm the bigger, younger, stronger, and faster man come Saturday night.
You wanted this fight for a while. You wanted any big fight for a while, and now you have it. How does it feel to finally have that big fight just a few days away?
You know, it feels great. This is what I've been wanting. This is what a lot of people have been wanting. I'm looking forward to putting on a great performance. You know, I'm looking forward to a challenge. You know, I know he's going to be there. He wants to test me. You know, he wants to trap me, get rough, and you know, he thinks that he has power. He always says when he hits people, they get on their bike. You know, but at the end of the day, I see him as somewhat of a flat-footed fighter, and if he brings in that brawler mentality, you know, we're going to be intelligent, we're going to pick our shots wisely, and try to break him down to the head and to the body, and make it less than a 12-round fight.
We read comments that you want to be the first person to stop him, but his father is a very good talker. I'm sure you've seen some of Ruben's calling you Runtime Thurman and all this other stuff. What do you make of all the pre-fight talk?
Actually, when I read that he called me Runtime, me and Dan Birmingham both laughed. We really enjoyed that comment. I don't mind, you know. Maybe I should abbreviate my name to keep Runtime Thurman because I'm diverse. You know, at the end of the day, when I read these comments, I just hear frustration. Oh man, you know, my son has to deal with somebody that might run. Yeah, Mayweather, we thought you were going to stand right there. We thought you were going to stand right there. You know, I mean, we could fight in a phone booth if that's what you want to do, but that's not the sport of boxing. You know, you have different styles and different aspects in the sport, and that's where the beauty of the sport comes into play, is the diversity of the fight styles in every individual.
Is that almost a compliment to you, though, in a sense, because you were knocking out people? People were complaining that you were knocking out people having these fights, and now people are saying you run. So isn't that not kind of show what a full fighter people actually see you as with these type of comments?
You know, I think they're trying to do their best of disrespecting me, but at the end of the day, I know who I am as a fighter, and I know that I'm hard to beat. You know, it's hard to beat a skillful person that moves around the ring. It's hard to beat a power puncher that comes in shape and condition. So not only am I a power puncher, but I can move around the ring. So I call myself a boxer puncher but depending on which fight you're watching, I might be a puncher boxer. So what that really means is that sometimes I'll sit down, try to take you out, realize you're durable, and then I'll move. Because at the end of the day, if I can't knock you out, I still need to win on the scorecards, and I'll do anything that I can do in my power to make sure that I'm the one whose hand is raised at the end of the night.
Is that what happened in December, essentially?
Essentially what happened.
Tried to take this guy out, but his style really didn't allow you to do that.
What really happened was I got the knockdown, and I was pleased. And I said, all right, that was real easy. So if he hopped into one, he'll hop into another one. We'll probably finish him by the 4th or the 5th. Well, by the 5th, I realized he made an adjustment, and he wasn't gonna go in with that intensely. You know, he was trying to pick his moments when to fire. So I said, you want to pick your shots? I'm gonna pick my shots. It's the 5th round. I got a knockdown. I don't think you've won a round yet. So now I either have to force myself to create a knockout or simply box you for the rest of the night. And we boxed. It was not easy when he made his adjustment to see the openings to get the knockout. He was a very short, compact fighter, and even getting to the body was a little difficult. Each fight is its own, and Saturday night I expect something different.
Yeah, this should be almost the polar opposite, because you're gonna have two guys who can engage and are willing to engage, compared to the last fight when one guy was willing to engage
and
himself.
As soon as Bundu engaged, he got knocked down.
Yep.
Out of 21 opponents, or 24 opponents, only one of them has not been knocked down. So I know my KO ratio is somewhere in the high 80s, 88, 89%, which always brings me confidence when I step in the ring, knowing that there's a 88 to 89% chance that this guy is not going to see that final bell. Outside of that, you know, I know that there's even a higher percentage, with only one guy not touching the mat, there's even a higher percentage that I'm guaranteed at least one or more knockdowns in the fight.
It's almost an analytical approach to the sport, like we see in basketball and baseball and football, where probability, like you said, you talked about odds earlier, but you understand probability and analytics of your sport, don't you?
Math was
without maybe even, you know, branding it as such.
Yeah, math was my favorite subject in school. I always say that numbers don't lie, and that we're all human. At the end of the day, the human body can only take so much pressure to critical points. The critical points on a fighter is both regions of the temples, the chin, and then you got about 3 separate regions of the body that are very sensitive to power punches. And my motto is KOs for life, you know, don't blink. And the reason why I have these mottos is because for 12 rounds, I am looking to critically land what we call that one-time blow.
Just have one last question for me, Rick. You are the regular WBA champion, you're no longer interim. This fight seems to be more than about a belt. From your perspective, is this fight bigger than a belt? Or is the belt as important to you as just looking good and selling yourself to America?
This belt gives me something to fight for. It gives me something to hold on to. But at the end of the day, this matchup is an opportunity to make a statement to the world of boxing. And we also look forward to that. You know, this is going to be a great fight. I can predict things, but knowing probability, there's a probable chance that I don't know anything that I'm talking about, and that everything that we discuss, you know, could be different. Robert Guerrero might come out completely trying to box me and move around and use more combinations. You know, he started off boxing Kamagai and then got into a brawl.
Early in his career, he used to box more too.
I didn't watch a lot of that, but I keep hearing that early in his career he used to box. So which Robert Guerrero is going to come out? I don't know. I know that I call myself a yin-yang fighter, which means that I can be aggressive and I can be passive. And I admire both traits of my style. I do not favor one over the other, but when you put me in a certain situation, that night I might favor one over the other. So for me, I'm just truly looking forward to this fight. I've been anticipating this fight for a long time, and it's a blessing to be on NBC Primetime Network.
Thank you. See you tomorrow.
When Mayweather with Guerrero, it wasn't the most exciting fight. Robert was chasing around the ring, getting hit with hot shots, and beating an ex-Mayweather opponent in a more impressive fashion would probably go a long way in terms of your credibility to fight either a Mayweather or a Pacquiao down the line. Well, off of the last performance, people were like, oh, maybe he's not ready yet, but if he knocked out a Robert Guerrero, that would be making quite a statement.
It would make a statement. You know, Saturday night is my moment to make a statement. In the world of boxing, we have a saying that you're only as good as your last fight, you know, where in reality that's not true, but it's as if everyone in the sport has what we call a short-term memory, you know, and they only remember what you just did and how you just looked, where boxing, not only is it one of the most difficult sports in the world, you know, but training camp matters. How a fighter mentally prepares and physically prepares is going to determine the outcome of that fight. I look forward to this matchup. I look forward to laying my hands on Robert Guerrero Saturday night, and I am looking for the knockout, and we are hoping for a knockout. We've trained for a knockout. But at the end of the day, I can't not say that I'm not going to move and pop shot as well. Because if it's difficult to force my will upon him, then I need to do what is strategically best to make sure that I stay champion at the end of Saturday night.
One last one for me. Talking about titles, like you mentioned, you've been the regular WBA champion before you were interim. The winner of Mayweather-Pacquiao, whenever they stop fighting those rematches, is going to be the super champion. Which I know you guys confusing regular super. Will you ever look to become that super champion? Would you go to the WBA and say, "Listen, I've been interim, now I'm regular. Can I get a shot at the super so I could be the super WBA or whatever?" You know, I mean, it's kind of
he's
funny.
A bird. He's a plane. No, yeah. It's super like champion.
The metaphor. You know, you've changed out of nowhere from interim to regular. Would you want to be the super? Is that something, you know?
I want to be pound for pound the best. I want to be the best fighter that I can be. You know, I want to evolve each and every time that I step in the ring. I want to be exciting. I want to be a champion that the fans love and respect. You know, we have 4 major world titles, and I don't understand how you're a super champion if you don't have all the titles, you know. There's been fighters in the past who held every single title known to man and never was declared a super champion. So who knows what the gimmick is with this new system? But hey, it's here, you know. I know Floyd's the best, and I want to fight the best. If that means going after the super champion title of the world, then so be it.
Right. And last for me, any message for your fans who are going to be watching this video? I used to live in Florida. I still got a lot of fans from Florida, so you got a message for all of them.
Just to everybody, all my fans back at home, across the U.S. East Coast, West Coast, UK, European,
Mexico,
Puerto Rico, everybody, Argentina. I know I got a lot of fans from the Diego Chavez fight. You know, just thank you so much for all your love and support. Tune in Saturday night. It's going to be a great fight. Follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. You can Facebook me at Keith Thurman Jr. Instagram is Keith One-Time Thurman, and Twitter is Keith F. Thurman Jr. Once again, thank you for all your love and support. Stay tuned. Be blessed. One time.